Labor Day is about honoring the dignity of the American worker. The American worker has never let the country down. I've never been more optimistic about the future of America than I am today. Happy Labor Day.
If you want to have a strong economy, support workers. No matter what your profession, if you are a member of organized labor of a union or not, thank unions every day.
On Labor Day, we celebrate the idea that we are stronger together and honor the sacrifices that countless union members and leaders made over decades on behalf of working families. Unions help build Michigan's middle class, and unfortunately, over the last couple of decades, they've faced constant attacks on their wages, benefits, their freedom to negotiate together. Today, working people have a friend in the governor's office who will fight for them. I will hold the line against any harmful legislation meant to weaken our unions and to hurt our hardworking families. I'll work hard to make sure working people are treated with dignity and respect. And I'll continue collaborating with unions to protect working people's rights. This Labor Day, we recognize that when labor is strong, we all succeed. And we recommit ourselves to always fighting for working people, with and alongside working people.
Happy Labor Day to Ohio workers. I want to particularly thank all of you who are not able to spend the day with families and friends at picnics and barbecues because you don't have the day off. You work hard to support your family, often for too little pay. Our mission is to change that. We take pride in hard work in this country. We believe that all work has dignity, whether you punch a clock, whether you swipe a badge, whether you work for tips, whether you're raising children, whether you're caring for aging parents or someone you love. But for far too many people, hard work, even though all work has dignity, hard work simply doesn't pay off. For decades, corporations have had the power in this economy. We see the results. Productivity's gone up. Stock prices have soared. Executive compensation is stratospheric, yet wages far too often have barely budged until now. We're creating record numbers of jobs. Wages are starting to go up in this economy. For the first time in decades, workers are beginning to gain some power in the workplace. That's what happens when we finally have a government on the side of workers. We put workers at the center of our trade policy. We put workers at the center of our tax policy. The infrastructure investments we're working on, the American Rescue Plan we passed. Of course, our work is far from finished. It's only the beginning. Today, Labor Day 2021, we honor America's labor movement, the movement that built this country. We recommit ourselves to the fights ahead. Our fight is not over until every American is paid a living wage, which they have earned, until everyone can afford childcare and healthcare and housing, until everyone has retirement security and paid leave and power over their workplace schedule, until everyone can find a good job in their hometown. To do that, to empower workers, we must pass the Protect Our Right to Organize Act, the PRO Act. It would finally level the playing field between workers and corporations when workers want to choose a union. A union card is a ticket to middle-class life. We just need corporations to let workers organize and take control over their careers and over their futures. When you love this country, you fight for the people who make it work. That's what Labor Day is all about. That's what my job is all about. It's what our labor movement has done for more than a century. It's how we built the middle class, and it's what we must continue to do until all hard work pays off and workers have real power in the workplace and real power in their government. That's my commitment to you. Happy Labor Day, all of you.
This Labor Day, I want to recognize and thank the incredible efforts of educators and education professionals heading into the new school year. To all the teachers, principals, school counselors, custodial workers, bus drivers, nutrition workers, and everyone involved in our effort to safely reopen schools for in-person learning, you go above and beyond the call of duty each day. Of course, our collective hard work has only just begun, but together, we can meet the most fundamental needs of our students, enabling them to reach higher levels of knowledge, achievement, and success. We're going to have to continue to innovate and be flexible. We're going to have to continue to show our students our deep care for them. But as you have proven over this past year and a half, you're more than up to the task. Each day, you make a real and meaningful difference in the lives of our nation's young people. Be proud. Keep up the good work. As we celebrate American labor this weekend, we celebrate you.
Hello, I am United States Senator Joe Manchin. It is my honor to wish my fellow West Virginians a happy Labor Day. Our great nation was built on the backs of a strong, diverse, and dedicated workforce. It is only fitting that every year on this day we acknowledge the social, civic, and economic contributions of our working men and women. Labor Day was first celebrated in 1882, when work was hard to find, and those who did find work struggled to receive fair compensation, safe working conditions, and fair work hours. Since that time, we have come a long way as a state and as a nation on behalf of our workforce and working families. But there is always more to achieve. The best way to invest in the future of our state and nation is to invest in our current workforce and in our youth, and to provide opportunities for all who want to work to do so with success and in the best environments that we can provide. We must continue to instill a strong work ethic in our youth and inspire them to excel, to pursue the higher education or training needed to land good jobs and to keep their talents within our beautiful state of West Virginia. There is nothing more honorable or rewarding than working hard to provide for your loved ones. As your former governor and now as your United States Senator, I am continuing to do my part to ensure our workforce has safe conditions, good wages, and opportunities to create a strong future right here in the Mountain State. While I'm continuing fighting for new jobs and opportunities in West Virginia, I join each of you this holiday weekend in thanking the hardworking men and women who make a difference in our state every day. Our West Virginia workforce keeps the lights on, educates our children, improves our economy, and keeps our community safe and healthy. And all of that is certainly something to be proud of. So happy Labor Day, West Virginia. Thank you all for your hard work.
Hey, Governor Steve Sisolak here to wish you a safe and happy Labor Day. I want to take a moment to recognize the progress we've made in the fight for workers' rights and activists who are still fighting today for a better workplace for all of us. We've come a long way, from 40-hour work weeks to paid leave to raising the minimum wage, but there's always more we can do. As your governor, I will stand with our union brothers and sisters to protect Nevada workers, and I'll always be one with you.
Happy Labor Day, Nuevo Mexico. I'm Congresswoman Teresa Ledger Fernandez. I am a proud co-sponsor, and I voted for the Protecting the Right to Organize Act, the PRO Act. You know what? Workers in every sector deserve the right to organize. Strengthening their right to organize will rebuild our middle class and improve the lives of workers and families everywhere. The House did its job. How about asking the Senate for a Labor Day present of passing the PRO Act? Come on, we could do it. Ahora es cuando.
Do you know what it means to hold the line? Hold the line for fair wages. Hold the line for the right to unionize. Hold the line for our mountaintops. Hold the line for our children's future. I do. I've stood on the front lines with teachers. I've stood on the picket line with labor leaders, in the streets with families crying for justice, on the railroad tracks with miners. That's what we do in Kentucky. It's part of who we are. Across our state, we are rising up as family, standing for organized labor, rising for a minimum wage of $15 for sick days and paid family leave, for health care for every single one of us, and fair housing. We're going to get there. Kentucky, let's keep holding strong.
Happy Labor Day to all of my union brothers and sisters and everyone watching today. Today, the entire country remembers that unions secured the workplace protections enjoyed every day by every worker in America. As we reflect on everything organized labor has done for our country, I want to take a moment to congratulate Liz Schuler on her historic election as the first woman to be president of AFL-CIO. And y'all, I know that she won't be the last. In Congress, I'm working to protect working families because everyone deserves a good paying job and fairness at work. That's why I voted for the PRO Act, so that every worker can make their voice heard. And that's why I am proud to support President Biden's Build Back Better agenda, which will create millions of good paying union jobs in every zip code. To my fellow members of the United Food and Commercial Workers Local 1996, the Atlanta North Georgia Labor Council, and the entire AFL-CIO, just know that I'm proud to be your voice in Congress, and I will always stand with you to support working families.
Happy Labor Day. I'm Sean Caston, and I am proud to support the Protecting the Right to Organize Act, because strengthening workers' rights to organize will help rebuild America's middle class and will help us transition to a clean energy economy. The House did its job. Now it's time for the Senate to do theirs and pass the PRO Act.
To all of the working people and families in our country, in our state, and in our city, happy Labor Day. It is because of your efforts of fighting for economic justice that we have the 8-hour day, that we have health benefits, that we have safe working conditions. But we can't ever stop. If we learned anything over these last 4 years, victories that we thought were long won, the fight was over, can be taken away overnight. So we always have to be vigilant. We always have to lock our arms in solidarity and keep the struggle on forever. Thank you on behalf of our country.
Happy Labor Day, everybody, and especially to our friends in organized labor. I am proud to support the Protecting the Right to Organize Act. Hardworking people are contributing to the growth of major corporations, yet many are still struggling to support their families. It's time to empower workers and address income inequality in America. We can do that by making sure that the PRO Act becomes law. Thank you.
Hi, this is Congressman Chuy Garcia. As our country prepares for Labor Day and celebrates Labor Rights Week, I want to honor the men and women who have put their lives on the line during this pandemic to keep our country moving. Now more than ever, it is important to remember all the work that unions and organized labor have done for working people. From the 5-day work week to occupational safety, affordable health care, and a voice at the table, we owe so much to the labor movement, but there is still much work to be done. On this Labor Day weekend, I especially want to support workers here in Chicago who are fighting for their rights as we speak. I stand with the Art Institute workers seeking union recognition and their right to join AFSCME. I stand with the Chicago area automobile mechanics, members of the Mechanics Union Local 701, who have been striking for over a month with determination, looking to achieve fair and reasonable working conditions. I stand with the Nabisco workers in their right against impossible schedules, reductions in pay, and attempts to make healthcare unaffordable. And I stand with immigrant workers all across our nation who deserve a pathway to citizenship in the country they call home. This weekend, I invite you to reflect on the importance of unions and to join me in fighting for dignity, justice, and respect for all workers.
Happy Labor Day, my brothers and sisters. I'm Congressman Dwight Evans, representing Pennsylvania's 3rd District. I was proud to vote for protecting the right to organize. As many of you know, the PRO Act would be the most significant upgrade to American labor law in more than 80 years. And when workers had the power to stand together and form a union, they have higher wages, better benefits, and safer working conditions. Now the Senate needs to do the same. Happy Labor Day, my brothers and sisters.
Hi, everybody. Mike Quigley from Illinois' 5th District. Happy Labor Day. When workers get to organize, they have better benefits, they have higher wages and safer working conditions. So that's why I was so proud to support the Protecting the Right to Organize Act. And on this Labor Day, I think it's time for the Senate to pass that same bill and protect all workers for better conditions for all. Have a great day.
Hey everybody, I'm Congressman Colin Allred. It's been nearly a year and a half since COVID changed the world for all of us, and I know it's been so tough, but we've also had a lot of North Texans who have stepped up, and on this Labor Day, I want to thank them, those frontline essential workers, our nurses, our doctors working day and night in our hospitals, our Postal Service workers who have continued to deliver our mail and take care of us, the folks making our food and stocking the shelves. I appreciate our DART bus drivers, our nursing home workers, the truck drivers who are keeping our supply chain moving. All of these folks, these essential workers, frontline workers, I want to thank them for their work throughout this pandemic to help us beat this virus, to keep our economy going, to allow us to live our lives. And this Labor Day, I want to recognize them, thank them, and make sure that we're supporting them. And I also want to let you know that I'm doing everything I can to try and help working families across North Texas and across the country. Child tax credit payments have already begun to go out, providing families with an additional $250 to $300 per child every month. I know personally how big a deal that is. And these payments have gone out to millions of kids and kept millions of children out of poverty. And I'm glad that we're able to help parents as they navigate new expenses, like buying masks or childcare that might have changed and even become more expensive. And I'm also working to make sure that every person has access to paid family leave. Whether you're welcoming a new child, like my wife and I did just a few months back, or taking care of a loved one, as we know some folks and many are having to do, often even with COVID. We're all going to need to have some time off at some point to take care of ourselves or our family. We need to have policies that reflect that reality. I know personally how important paid family leave is, and I want to make sure that every North Texan and every American has access to it, and I'm not going to stop fighting until we do. And of course, on Labor Day, I want to thank all of the unions out there fighting hard for working people, for doing everything you can to support working people, whether you're in a union or not. We've all benefited from the work that our unions do. So thank you to all of those unions and all those union members out there who've worked so hard for all working people. I'm with you every single day in the fight to support North Texas working families. I will always do everything I can to make sure that we are helping you, supporting you, and helping us get through what we know has been a very difficult time. So happy Labor Day, and thanks so much.
Hello, happy Labor Day, and let's celebrate Labor Day by acknowledging and respecting the dignity of work. But let's also remember, if work is going to have dignity, workers must have power. And that's why the PRO Act, Protect the Right to Organize Act, passed in the House, is absolutely crucial. We must get it passed in the Senate. Strong unions come together, bring people together around their common interest in good wages and in good working conditions. We need strong labor, and we need the right to organize to show that we truly do respect the dignity of work.
Hi, this is Congressman Troy Carter. As we approach Labor Day, let us remember what it's all about. The incredible working men and women of labor, making sure that we always have the right to organize. The PRO Act speaks to the significance of making sure that precious right is never taken away. And as we approach this day, remember those of us in Louisiana and all those that have been impacted by Hurricane Ida. Lift us up in prayer. We will rebound. We are resilient. We are Louisiana. We are America.
Hello, this is your Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia with a special message for you this Labor Day. As we prepare to celebrate this holiday weekend with family and friends, I want to invite you to join me in remembering the men and women at the heart of this holiday, workers. On Labor Day, we celebrate the workers who have built our country from the ground up. We honor the farm laborers, the factory workers, the construction workers, and everyone else who works day in and day out to keep our country strong. We also take this opportunity to recognize the importance of organized labor. It is critical that we protect the right of workers to come together to seek the fair wages and protections they deserve. So, as you celebrate this weekend, take a moment to remember the workers and everything we have accomplished together. And of course, remember to wear your mask. And if you haven't already, go get vaccinated. vaccination centers will be running this holiday weekend. That's it for it. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Stay safe, stay cool, and God bless.
Happy Labor Day. I'm Congressman Raul Grijalva, and I'm proud to support the Protecting the Right to Organize Act. The PRO Act will restore the rights of workers to organize, ensure good paying jobs, and the benefits for working people and families, and help rebuild America's middle class. As our economy recovers from the pandemic, unions will be critical to protect workers, create safer working conditions, and hold employers accountable for their actions. The House did its job. Now the Senate must pass the PRO Act.
As you spend time with family and friends this weekend, keep in mind the sacrifices American workers have made. Men and women gave their literal blood, sweat, and tears to demand a better life for themselves, their families, and their fellow workers. By organizing and making collective demands, by demonstrating their collective power through strikes, slowdowns, and boycotts, they were able to wrestle from their bosses some of the benefits that today we take for granted: better wages, an 8-hour day, safer working conditions, and so on. Institutions like OSHA, the National Labor Relations Board, and even Social Security are part of that legacy. Frederick Douglass said, "Power concedes nothing without demand. It never has and it never will." The brave women and men of the labor movement made their demands and built their power, and with it, built this American middle class. It is no coincidence that as union membership has declined over the last 40 years, so too have wages remained flat, and the middle class has shrunk. The fate of American workers rests in the revitalization of the labor movement. Today, I celebrate their accomplishments with my brothers and sisters in the CWA and across the entire labor movement, and wish all of you a safe and happy Labor Day.